Today's lesson is going to be pretty short. We are doing multiplication facts and we're focusing on the memory group. So some of them are easy because you can find patterns. Nines are great. You can identify patterns, but some you just have to memorize. So we're going to be focusing on the memory group multiplication facts today. Okay, there are only 10 multiplication facts from 0 times 0 through 9 times 9 that we have not practiced, okay? And we've pretty much tried to practice all of them, and you should have practiced all of them by 4th grade anyway. So we've reviewed a few already. Today we're going to focus on the memory group. So looking at things like 3 times 4 or 3 times 6, 3 times 7. These are ones we just have to memorize. Multiplication facts can be practiced by doing timed written tests on a daily basis. So you probably did a lot of this last year in 3rd grade, yes? Oh yeah. You should be continuing to practice often in order to memorize the facts. So just because you learned them last year and you got your ice cream party doesn't mean you stop memorizing and practicing, okay? Besides the facts from 0 times 0 to 9 times 9, it's helpful to memorize the 10s, 11s, and 12s. Recall that the multiples of 10 and 11 follow patterns that help us remember them. 10s are easy because they all end in 0. 11s, you're just doing 2 of whatever number you're multiplying by 11. So if it's 11 times 3, there's 2 3s, 33. 11 times 4 makes 2 4s, 44. So you have patterns. When you get down to 11 times 11 and 11 times 12, that pattern no longer works. Those are memory facts. The multiples of 12 also have patterns that help us to remember them as well. You just have to be able to identify them. So 12, if I double 12, that's 24. If I double that, or if I triple 12, that's 36. If I quadruple 12, or I can be doubling. I can double 24 to get 48. If I double 2, what is that for? Okay, so you can play around with the numbers, double them, triple them. You can add 12 in your head, but sometimes at some point we get to a number where those little tricks just don't work or we start getting confused. Okay, let's look at an example. It says the school orders pencils in boxes of 12 pencils. Complete this table showing the number of pencils in the given number of boxes. Okay, now if I just look at this top part, it says to find the number of pencils, we multiply the number of boxes by 12. So if you look at the boxes on the top, right up here, I multiply that by 12 to get 12 pencils. 2 boxes is 24 pencils. 3 boxes, 36. 4, 48. 5 would be how many?
16.
6 would be 7 times 12 would be 8 times 12.
144.
There we go. Okay, very good. And we are all correct. Okay, brainstorm ways to recall the 10 memory group facts. Then, okay, we've already done the power up, so we're not going to do that. We've already done it. So we have 11 times 11. What is 11 times 11?
144.
Okay, very good. If you are not one of the people that's shouting these out, make sure you are practicing at home. Guys, you can log into Reflex at home. You can do Reflex at home anytime. You can make yourself flashcards. There are lots of ways you can practice. You need to be practicing. Okay, 12 times 8. 12 times 7. 12 times 5. 12 times 11. Very good. You should be able to spat these off quickly. If you can't just spat them out, and when I say spat, I mean like quick, okay? You need to make sure you're practicing the ones that you can't tell me quickly, because that means that it's not memorized yet, okay? It's not a bad thing if you don't have it memorized. It just means you got to practice. You got to work a little extra harder, okay? Any questions? Okay, we've got a little more than 30 minutes today, so hopefully nobody has homework tonight. Your lesson starts on page 261 and goes through 264. You're doing all of the written practice 1 through 30 today. As soon as you get your paper, put your name at the top and write lesson 38 by the lesson blank.